Let's talk about the players under a lot of pressure to win a championship next season. This list is not in any particular order. Let's start with Damian Lillard of the Milwaukee Bucks. Obviously, Dame is one of the best players of this generation, which is why he was included in the 75 greatest players of all time. However, Dame is getting older and he no longer has an excuse for not winning a championship because he now has a superstar teammate and a strong supporting cast in the weaker Eastern Conference. The pressure is on Lillard to win a championship. Next is Chris Paul of the Golden State Warriors. Chris Paul is part of the 75 greatest players of all time. However, he is soon to be 40 years old and is seen by many as no longer a starting caliber player. He has been experiencing a decline and is not the same as he used to be. It is possible that he is in the last 3 years of his career. Next is the MVP duo of James Harden and Russell Westbrook of the Los Angeles Clippers. These two former MVPs are surely going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, but winning a championship ring is missing from their resumes. There were times when their names were considered among the best in the world, but their prime has passed, and they are also in the twilight of their basketball careers. They have little time left to win a championship, and at the Clippers, they are looking for their first ring. Next is Paul George of Los Angeles Clippers. Paul George is still one of the most effective players today, and he has a higher chance of winning a championship than Westbrook and Harden for a simple reason. He can change teams now, and because of his style of play, he has the ability to fit into any system. Paul George is already 34 years old, and his injuries have been increasing lately, so as mentioned, his time in the NBA is not long. Next is Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers. He can be considered one of the best centers of all time if we talk about talent alone. He is always an MVP caliber player when healthy, but he lacks the achievements to be included in the conversation of the greatest centers of all time. Embiid is under great pressure to win a championship because, aside from being left behind by Nikola Jokic, his knees are also giving out. Embiid is 30 years old and has not even reached the Eastern Conference Finals yet. Next is Luka Donic of the Dallas Mavericks. Luka has been part of the All-NBA first team since his second season, which means he has been a top 5 performer in the last 5 years. He is always a legitimate MVP candidate. Although Luka is still young, he has already reached the NBA Finals. Therefore, the next step for him is to win a championship, and if they do not make it to the finals, it will be an automatic disappointment because their team ranking has dropped from the previous season. Next is Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns. He is one of the up-and-coming superstars from America. However, he is now being overshadowed by Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, and even Jaylen Brown. Next is Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat, a player who always gives his all during the playoffs, but he is also aging and accumulating injuries. Butler will be 35 at the start of the new season, and time is not on his side. Next is DeMar DeRozan of the Chicago Bulls, who will be 35 next season. The Chicago Bulls don't seem to be contenders right now. Apart from Luka Donic, all the players mentioned are 30 years old or older. Who do you think will be the first to get a ring among the players we mentioned? Did you like the video? Please click the subscribe button and don't forget to click the notification bell for more updates.